Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brittnee. A couple weeks ago, I got a fun package in the mail, and it's time to show you guys what's inside. This box is so big and heavy. Okay, look at all these cool molds. Just gonna show you a little sample. Hot air balloons, so cute. All sorts of fun shapes. Here's some eggs, great for Easter. Some cool gems. I can't show you all of them, but I mean, these are fun, trippy, like square mold, bar mold. Some more like square patterns. I love the square, I love the geometrical patterns. Some like weave. This looks like a basket weave. Anyway, so many fun ones. I'm excited to use these ones because they're a fun shape, but they have a flat top, which means you can stamp them, which is cool. You know, I love a good stamp. They're so easy to do and they look really clean. So thank you to Greyas. I can't wait to try all these. So all of those molds were sent to me from one of my favorite places in the world, Turkey, by the company Greyas. You might already know of them. They make really awesome polycarbonate chocolate molds. In fact, their half sphere mold is my all-time favorite half sphere mold. And I have other shapes of theirs already, but now I have so many more and I can't wait to try them all out. I'll be testing them out every so often on the channel to come up with new design ideas. But a couple days ago, I was like, I'll do a Greyas chocolate mold video this week real quick. And I was going through all the molds and then I found this one and I was like, ooh, little Art Deco situation. And don't laugh at me, but it also made me think of Taylor Swift because her new album is about to come out. Well, it was about to come out when I found the mold, but now it's out. In fact, today's October 3rd, and I already listened to it 3 times last night before bed. So just a little side note, if you've listened, comment down below what your favorite song or like top 3 songs are because I'm curious. After just a couple run-throughs, I would say my top 3 are, for sure Honey. I liked Wish List. Opalite was really good, and The Fate of Ophelia, I think. Those are what come to my mind right now. Anyway, so this mold kind of just felt perfect for the Life of a Showgirl theme. Oh, and by the way, the code for this one is CM3818, if you're wondering. And of course, Greyas is who makes it. So the colors for the album and the colors for the chocolate bars are like a rusty green color. It's like turquoise minty and glittery orange and like lots of sparkly shiny jewels. Now, these are colors I wouldn't normally gravitate to and put together, so it's kind of fun to try something different. Oh, and the glitter aspect of it all is very exciting because I have these edible glitters that I've been wanting to try out on chocolate, so I'm excited to show you that new technique. These edible glitters by Fancy Sprinkles got kind of popular a couple years ago to put into drinks like cocktails and stuff. So maybe you've seen them used for that. So I'm excited to show you how these showgirly Art Deco-y bars turn out. Here are the supplies that you'll need. Some plain cocoa butter, silver prism powder from Fancy Sprinkles. For my Life of a Showgirl colors, I'll be using Chef Rubber pre-colored cocoa butters. To get that rust green color, I'm mixing Breakfast Blue with Spring Green. I did about half the amount of green as the blue to get this color. Jack-o'-lantern orange and emerald. For the filling, I'm just adding in a cookie crunch using my current fall obsession, apple shortbread cookies from Trader Joe's, and I'll be using caramel chocolate today by Halibut. I've already washed, dried, and polished my molds. Now I'm taking my vinyl tape and carefully taping off the borders. There isn't really a trick to this, just keep trying and adjusting as you go until you get the tape in the right place. The hardest part is seeing where the edges are, but stretching out the tape in a straight line and then pressing it down with a Q-tip can be helpful to direct it where you want it to go. I add a second layer of tape to block off the rest of the border because I'll be spraying my background color in after I decorate the mold. So for my design, I wanted to kind of use the album color as inspiration. So you see there are pieces of the green, and then the vinyl itself is glittery orange. So I want to apply the green first so it doesn't have glitter in it. Then I'll add the glitter layer and then the orange. And then I chose emerald as the border color because it's a very Art Deco color, and I think it complements the orange and rust green color well. I tried out a couple ways to apply the green, but landed on this simple star sponge technique. I wanted to do something that you could apply fast because originally I was doing a more feathery pattern with a thin paintbrush, painting each line separate, but it was too time consuming. So I just take the star sponge and tap it into the bar mold. I'm aiming for the bottom pointy part of the pattern, and it's hard to tell in the video, but each of those like scale shapes are tilted. So the round part is lower and it raises up to the point. So it's really easy to aim the sponge at the point. Next, I take a pointed Q-tip and run it across all the arches because I want those borders to look super crisp. Guys, I missed a row and it's been bugging me ever since. I noticed it on the finished bars, and now watching it back, I'm like, ah! Now I take my tempered cocoa butter and I mix in some of the edible glitter. I'm not measuring it, just going by feel of how it looks after I mix it. Then I just apply a nice thin layer to the whole area of the bar mold that's open. It's so fun to have glitter. Usually we use luster dust, which is a lot finer and gives a different look. I was excited to have thought of this theme because I have a bunch of these glitters in all different colors, and I've been wanting to try this out for like a year. Now I take my tempered orange cocoa butter and I spray the background of the design using my airbrush. Just a single thin coat is enough. I peel the tape off immediately after spraying. The cocoa butter is starting to set up a little bit, but if you wait too long and the cocoa butter is really setting up hard, it will crack when you peel off the tape, and it might even chip off some of your design, so be careful. And can you see those tiny pieces of orange that fell back into my mold off of the tape? I just sprayed them out with my airbrush using only air after I took all the tape off. Now I take my tempered emerald cocoa butter and spray the rest of the mold. The orange is opaque enough to keep its color, and then the green will just fill in the border color. Molds that have corners can be a bit tricky to spray, so I always like to spray the corners first to make sure they get enough color. But I don't know if you can tell, but I was having trouble with this color today. I did notice that this batch of green from Chef Rubber had tons of bits of dry color in it. So my airbrush was struggling. I think it was a bit clogged, so not much color was coming out. Plus, there were bits of color spraying out into my mold. And this was even after I ran it through a super fine sieve when adding it into my airbrush. So now the background color was speckled. I really had no choice but to make the coat thick enough to hide the speckles, so the background ended up pretty dark. Like really dark green. Like it almost looks black when I unmold it, you'll see. But to me, I guess that's still better than having speckled borders for this one. Just a side note though, I was spraying 2 more molds with this color for a future video, spoiler. But before I did, I took my green out of the airbrush and blended it with my stick blender. And then when I added it back into the airbrush again, I ran it through a nylon. I don't do that often, but when I have a color that has lots of dry crumbs and I can't get totally smooth, then I will do that in order to save it, and it worked great. Next, I temper some caramel chocolate. I did 30 ounces and that was plenty. While my chocolate is cooling, I chop up 4 of my apple shortbread cookies. I'm trying to get them quite small because this mold is pretty shallow, but also without mashing them completely into crumbs. Now, even though I'm doing a solid chocolate bar, I am still going to shell the mold before filling it. Because I'm adding crunchy cookies to my chocolate, I don't want them to sink to the surface of the mold and scratch off the cocoa butter design. So I shell the bars to secure the design and also to make sure chocolate fills in all the details of the mold. While I let the shells set up just to where they become matte, I keep my tempered caramel chocolate warm for the filling using my heat gun. I warm up my bowl and my cookies and then add in some chocolate. Again, I didn't measure, I just go by the texture. I want a lot of cookies to chocolate, but also if there's too many, it'll be really hard to fill the molds and get them smooth. So try to keep it balanced. I run the heat gun over my mold really quick and then carefully add in the chocolate filling. It's okay if there are cookies sticking up above the surface of the mold. What I was more focused on is making sure that there is chocolate filled all the way up to each edge of the bar, and then also that the edges are clean. Then I popped them into the fridge for 25 minutes. To unmold, I use this board to flip the bars out on. A lot of times if you flip a bar right out onto the counter, they can break because they are so long and thin. They can especially break because they have uneven cookies on the bottom, so be careful when unmolding them. But here they are. What do you guys think? The orange sparkle effect looks exactly how I wanted it to. I'm so excited. I didn't really plan this, but I also kind of love how the round glittery orange on the mold looks like the top of the glittery orange vinyl coming out of the case. This mold is so cool though, I love it. When the light hits it right, it almost looks like it has a plastic cover on top of it. It's so shiny. And I also love at the right angle, the light hits it and brings out all of the fine little details in the mold. All right, guys, I hope that you enjoyed today's video and that you learned something new. What do you think of these Showgirl chocolate bars? I think they turned out pretty good. I really like this mold. If I wasn't going for a specific color scheme today, I probably would have chose something different, but I do like how they turned out. I think it would be really pretty in dark green and gold, or like a really deep purple or like midnight blue. But it was fun to try some colors I'm not normally attracted to, and I like how they turned out. If you liked today's video, please leave me a like down below. Helps me out a lot. Also, leave me a comment and let me know what colors you would want to use for this mold and what textures or design techniques would you add to it. Also, if you've listened to the album, let me know your favorite songs. I'm very curious. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, today's the day. If you'd like to see something else that's sweet, just click on one of these thumbnails. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.